I've compiled the ultimate rundown of every confirmed feature coming in Alpha 21. Let me know what you think of the upcoming changes in the comments below, and if you want to keep updated with all things 7 days, hit the subscribe button right now. There'll be 75 new points of interest to explore, including brand new Tier 4 and Tier 5 locations. Additionally, hundreds of existing locations are being updated to modern standards, and many of these locations will also include further environmental storytelling. Improvements have been made to light emissive colour matching, glass shaders, and many new models and assets have been added, including police cars, trucks, tractors, fire engines, heavy machinery and forklifts. There'll also be a variety of new environmental artwork like new snack and candy designs, as well as a variety of wall art. 23 new skills and magazines are being added, and perks no longer unlock recipes or govern crafting. The only schematics that will still unlock recipes are mod attachments, and the crafting skill is now increased by finding and reading magazines. Skill increases unlock recipes at certain points, as well as increasing the quality of crafting for items with quality. There are now technology tiers that determine what materials you can use to craft items, progressing from stone and through iron and steel. Some skills have 100 levels, but others have less depending on how many unlocks there are for recipes and quality tiers. Skill magazines can be found, bought and obtained as quest rewards. The topic of the magazine will match the location you'd expect to find them in the in-game world. Perks slightly affect the probability of finding themed magazines and parts for those recipes. Perk into shotguns, you'll notice more shotgun magazines and shotgun parts appearing in the world. This effect does decrease when skills are maxed, allowing room in the loot pool for new skills. World generation is being updated to include different quality levels for the preview window, with the low, high and highest options available. Generation times have been optimised and decreased, and elements like road smoothing and the reduction of repetitious POI spawning have been added. There will also be a feature that allows players to specify the types of POIs that can spawn, determined by either their names or their tags. Some POIs will feature environmental hazards, like flaming gas pipes that can be turned off by finding a valve. The fire effect also debuffs movement, so they can't easily be bypassed by players. Partially damaged doors with large holes can be shot and meleeed through to damage enemies on the other side, and there will also be hundreds of new door variations, including double doors. Water is no longer a block but a water voxel. Water voxels flow into neighbouring voxels that are marked to allow them, and water can exist in the same space as a block, though water does not flow or fall continuously like a river or a waterfall, and player movement in water has been enhanced. Murky water is the only water found in loot and water sources. Empty glass bottles have been removed from the game, and the all-new Dew Collector workstation will now produce 3 murky water per in-game day. Players can also drink murky water directly from water sources with empty hands by pressing the E key, but drinking murky water now causes 5 hit points of damage, and has a chance to give dysentery. A pot is now also required to boil murky water into boiled water. Spears have had an increase in damage, and the throw power attack has been replaced with a thrust instead. The ability to throw spears has been removed altogether. Chunks can now be reset to their pre-generated state if no player has entered the chunk for a predetermined amount of days, which is also customizable up to 70 days. Land claim blocks and bedrolls will prevent chunks from resetting if they are placed within them. Traders will have all new compounds that reflect their professions and personalities. Trader inventories have also been rebalanced to account for the new crafting system. The secret stash found at traders is being removed and replaced with further specialisation of traders and what they can carry. Zombies will feature a new dismemberment system, in which different types of weapons can cause different types of bodily damage, including both blunt and bladed weapons. These damage indicators will be determined by the type of weapon, from slicing and blunt force, and the affected areas will feature jiggle physics as well. Wires will now only be visible when holding the wire cutting tool. A danger meter has been added to show the danger level of biomes and POIs, as well as displaying the name of the location you're in. The new crafting recipe tracker can be toggled to show on the HUD, helping players as they gather materials needed for crafting, and when crafting, the player can select on the HUD the quality level they would like to craft, as long as it is equal to or less than what they've already learned. Additionally, an armour state indicator has been added to warn you when your armour durability is low, and the F7 key now supports interacting with objects, so the entire HUD can be removed for cinematic play. Sex Rex has been removed, and stamina improvement is now incorporated into the separate perks for each weapon, and each attribute will get its own version of Flurry of Blows as an additional perk for the melee weapons within that attribute. Repair kits now restore a fixed amount of health, and each level of Grease Monkey adds 10% of the vehicle's total health to the amount restored. Vehicles will now deal an increased amount of damage to blocks, terrain and entities by various amounts, and there is also an increase in damage received by vehicles from collisions with both enemies and terrain. Vehicle blood splatter effects have been added on high damage collisions with entities, and particle effects like smoking and sparking will now display the level of damage a vehicle has sustained. Zombie pathing will update less frequently, and jiggle components are disabled based on distance from the player, and each player will always have some fully simulated zombies. This will help with the optimization of zombies from Blood Moon and Sleeper volumes. There'll be a new sphere-shaped brush with adjustable size that can grow terrain in all directions, instead of just upwards, and can fill space with any block. It comes with an undo function and graphic improvements. There'll be a new quest type called Infested Clear. Infested clears increase the tier level of the quest by 1 level, and greatly increase the number of zombies and the game stage depending on the biome they take place in. It will also feature a special loot reward called the Infested Cache, and T5 infestation quests are now considered T6. Traders can now spawn in the wilderness areas of the game, and will no longer be limited to the outskirts of cities and towns. They will also be more evenly distributed, appearing in an approximate range of 1.5 kilometers of each other. Zombies can now eat animals and in future bandits when they're laying on the ground. These ground targets can distract zombies from the player, and also deplete the resources from said targets until they completely disappear. Block shapes are being updated to include hundreds of new variations and configurations. Windows will now act as a block instead of an entity, which will increase game performance and optimization. There'll also be a wide variety of new window types, as well as enhanced glass shaders and physics. Scopes and sights have been updated to feel smoother and more consistent. Previously, frames could be skipped when aiming through scopes, and movement could feel sluggish, which has now been fixed, and there'll also be a sensitivity slider in the game's menu. Some points of interest have also been condensed. This is to increase the level of realism in the environments and bring their scales down to a more believable size, as well as to reduce the number of blocks used to increase optimization. Roadside POIs will include things like truck stops, campsites and diners, which will also populate emptier areas of the map outside of cities and towns. These locations will feature further environmental storytelling, as well as providing more opportunities for looting in wilderness areas. Blocks will now have more advanced physics when displaced, especially with explosives, and can move away from a fixed position, move on their axis, blow away from the epicenter of an explosion for more realistic movement and response to destruction. If you enjoyed this video, why not check out some of the others on screen now? Hit the subscribe button to see more videos like this in the future, and stay up to date with everything 7 Days to Die related. Let me know what you think of these upcoming new features in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But for now, goodbye.